we hope you enjoyed that. We certainly had a good time up here, as you can probably see. It's a party time. We unfortunately come to the last number in our program this evening, which we hope you've enjoyed. It's been a long program, but I suggest those of a nervous disposition should move back, because it gets a little loud towards the end, this one. But there should be a bit of air to cool you off a little bit, I think. This is by the Italian composer Respighi, who actually spent a lot of his working life in Russia, in St. Petersburg. And I think that accounts for the darkness in his music. Some of his music is dark and mysterious, quite un-Italian, not Italian at all. This particular piece is the finale from his suite from the Pines of Rome. It's the Via Appia. The Via Appia exists today in Rome. If you go there, go and see this road. It is there. It is original. No yellow or white lines. It's just as it was 2,000 years ago, when the Roman legions would have walked on this road. This is what we call program music. Some music is written to dance to, some music just to listen to, and some music is written to give you a musical picture, like the 1812 Overture of Tchaikovsky, for instance. It's program music. This, I think, is one of the finest examples of program music. The picture is so clear. 2,000 years ago, the Roman legions, all the soldiers would leave Rome and go to all parts of the world, like the Vikings used to do. But they used to march better, I get it. They came to England, the Romans, thousands of them, hundreds of thousands. They used to build walls everywhere. I never finished them. Lots of walls all over the north of England, not finished. But they were very good at central heating also. I think they must have done the central heating in this building for this evening. But they would go away on their tours of duty, sometimes for 10 years. Then they would come back to the outskirts of Rome. This Via Appia goes from Rome to Foggia in the south. Foggia have a very good football team. You may see them on Sunday afternoons on Serie A. They're a pretty good team. And that was where they would land, in Foggia, and march, or whatever. They'd make their way along the Appian Way, which is some 300 kilometers. They would make camp on the outskirts of the city, on the outside of the city, and they would send a messenger to the Senate, to the politicians, to say, we're back, can we please have a parade? Because we've been away for 10 years, and we'd like to say hello to all our friends, and we've got quite a lot of nice things to show you. We've brought some presents back and things like this. Can we have a parade, please? And the politicians used to sometimes take up to 1 year to decide to give this legion the permission to have the parade. So for this year, they'd spend their time in their camp, and they'd mend their chariots, and they'd clean their horses, and they'd put new bottoms on their sandals, and their breastplates, they would make them all shiny, and their helmets and their plumage, and they would just make the army look fantastic, so that when the great day came, the army looked immaculate. They would leave at dawn, early dawn, on the Via Appia, misty, very early morning mist. And you can hear this in the music, this incessant tramping of thousands of feet, very quietly in the distance. And gradually this parade comes closer and closer. I think this particular legion have been to eastern parts, because there's some eastern promise. You can hear on the flugelhorn, Mr. Drury plays a belly dance. They've brought a belly dancer back from Morocco or Algeria or somewhere. The parade gathers in intensity and sound. It gets louder and louder and more intense till it becomes unbearable. The Roman horns blare. You will hear this in the euphonium and the tubas. Like on the Cecil B. DeMille films. You've all seen these. They play them at Christmas. I have never see the end of any of these films. I'm always asleep. Ben-Hur, and you've seen these films. Imagine that sort of picture. The sun comes through the early morning mists and shines on their breastplates and their helmets, and the parade becomes a fantastic sight. and it gathers in dynamic, is stronger and stronger, and eventually it arrives in splendour and triumph at the steps of the Capitoline Hill. So this is the march from the Via Appia from the Pines of Rome by Respighi. Thank you.